What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Real Junkies. I'm your host, Farron, here again with my man Vito. And it's been a great week to be a movie fan, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, had the Academy Awards, had two crazy, phenomenal trailers come out. One for a movie that's like my most anticipated of the year in Dune. Another one that's like still very anticipated, but I'm like in the Dune hype right now, so I'm not like overly like in the excitement with everybody else about this one and Spider-Man 4, Brand New Day. So some great trailers. The award show that's like the movie Super Bowl happened this past weekend. So we've been riding high as film fans over here. And that's exactly what we're discussing here is what was it, 98th Academy Awards, right?
98.
98th. So a lot to get to in there. Before I get into before I start kicking Conan's back in for how bad of a host he was, I'll let you go ahead and give any initial thoughts you may have.
Yeah. I just want to say, dog, I'm a Conan fan, so I'm a little partial to it, dog.
Okay.
He got fucked over back in the day when Jay Leno left the Tonight Show the first time, and he
Hmm.
was supposed to take over. Came back, and his spot was gone. He
Yeah.
gave up his spot for somebody else, and because he's gonna get the Tonight Show, and then they pushed him over to fucking TBS doing some shit. So Conan's usually on it, honestly. I don't know what it was with him and like the jokes just didn't land like the
It
way they
wasn't
should have.
landing. Yeah.
They were like what's that the joke? A sensible chuckle, sensible chuckle magazine. It's like a little
Yeah.
sensible chuckle, but like
Yeah.
nothing was like super funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Which was crazy because like what made it worse was they sent Jimmy Kimmel out there to present one of the
uh,
awards, and he was like infinitely better. In that
I
short amount of time where he was presenting the award, that was infinitely better than anything Conan did the
but I
entire night.
think that's part of he was on. If you got, but it was what shit. It was from 7 to like 10:30.
Something like
So
that, yeah.
you got 3.5 hours to present,
Yeah,
and then Jimmy Kimmel only had fucking, like, 5 minutes,
if
and
that.
I just think that well, didn't isn't that where, Will Smith smacked Chris Rock at the Oscars?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, dude, they need to just expand the hosting
Yeah,
because Jimmy Kimmel has done it a bunch of times. I'm pretty sure, this is not I know this isn't Conan's first
this
time.
isn't Conan's first time.
Ricky Gervais has done it a bunch of fucking times.
Mhm,
Chris Rock did it that time. I don't know
yeah.
how many other times he's done it before then. But like they do not have a wide range of
I think
fucking people
am I
hosting
tripping
it.
or did Kevin Hart host the Oscars at one point?
He did. That's the year that niggas wasn't watching though.
Yep, 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 yep.
So, but they don't have a wide range of it. And jumping into the show, they had their little memoriam where they moments of silence and whatnot that they had. They had a bunch of people that was in the industry that they
Yeah,
acknowledged. And then they said, I was seeing people online talking about how it's some people they didn't acknowledge. They didn't acknowledge I think it's Eric Dane, Malcolm Jamal Warner. And if somebody's like, "Oh, well, they're TV stars," we're like, "Well, yeah, but they were fucking they've both been in movies." Um, on top of that, they had people like they had lawyers. So so niggas that you've never seen in front of a camera. I mean,
yeah.
it's cool that they're hosting them because again,
Mhm.
if they're a part of the SAG and whatever however other unions are a part of
Yeah,
that's in
the
film,
actors,
the Actors
union and
Guild
the
and all
writers
that shit.
union, yeah.
Yeah, directors and boom people,
Mhm.
all the what do they call the people that work behind the scenes in the movies? Not the cast, the crew.
Crew,
All
yeah.
the crew members that work those. It's good that they're acknowledging these people, but they acknowledged a lot of motherfuckers and they left a lot of motherfuckers out as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And one
maybe that was a
correction, Kevin Hart technically he was announced,
oh,
but he
okay.
never hosted because of a joke he made that them people didn't like,
Was it
but
a gay joke?
it was.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Niggas
Because
be so sensitive,
I was
dog.
like, I remember him being announced. He was officially announced, like, he was supposed to. I think it was, like, 2018, 2019. He was supposed to
Okay.
host it, but then those jokes resurfaced, and some people wasn't having that.
Damn, I wanna know what the joke was now.
I'm trying to think to some of his old specials. I think I might know
Uh,
which 1 or 2 it could have been, but either way, I ain't
um,
trying to end up in the same ire that he was in, so y'all
outside of
people
that
got it.
I'm looking it up now. Outside of that, I'm not a big, award show person, man, like,
That's fair.
the thing with the awards is, like, most of it is political. And if
Yes.
you don't know how, like, that works, man, like, they literally, the same way that when people niggas is running for president and governor and shit like that, where the candidates are trying to lobby to be the head person,
It's
that's
exactly
what
how
they're
this
doing for
works.
the Oscars
Yes.
stuff.
It's
So, like,
exactly how
it's
this works.
literally niggas running around. When you see Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, and if you watch the Oscars, at least this year, there's a lot of times where they'll be like where winners will be like, "Yeah, and I had such a great time getting to know these people," meaning the other nominees, and that's because, like, they do a lot of shit together, the press
Mhm.
runs, they're in different, not just meetings, but, like, banquets, galas, all types of stuff like that,
Yeah.
trying to get, "Hey, did you like this about the movie? Did you see this about the movie? You see this about the movie? You seen these reviews?" Because, there's also so many fucking movies that come out in a year, and I know you've seen they had the, international category. On top of having an international category, they had international categories in the best film category. What was it? The Sentimental? Was that the name of the movie?
Uh,
The other one we was talking about? I dropped my
which one?
list to, try to find
Sentimental
it.
value.
Maybe
Yeah.
I know you said you wasn't gonna watch it. I kinda wanna watch it now just from, seeing some of those clips. Love, Skarsgård. That's
Yeah,
Skarsgård, right?
still I didn't yeah, that Stellan Skarsgård was in there, and, like, the scenes they showed from there looked,
Yeah,
like, dramatically very heavy. I was like,
yeah.
"This movie looks like it's emotionally a lot to sit
It looks
through."
like something I wanna watch.
Yeah,
So, it's a lot of movies that come out in a year, so when you look at, like, okay, well, why this movie didn't get this? Why this movie didn't get this? It could be so many things. Unless the
yeah.
movie like, you talk about movies that just release and limited reviews or limited views, they don't have a big studio backing it. If that movie is nominated, that movie's, like, exceptionally good. Like,
Yeah.
that's just made to perfection because they don't have the resources. And
There's a little bit of truth to that.
Warner Brothers had a great year, okay? Now
A
it's
great year, which is
and they
why
just
I'm surprised they got acquired by another studio, but that's another
they just
conversation.
sold I'm gl I'm glad they got acquired by another studio. Actually, let me retract that. I'm glad that they were sold. I don't like that they were sold to another studio. I wish that
Yeah.
somebody else would have just bought it because Warner Brothers over the years, as a comic book fan and a superhero movie
They
fan,
don't make a lot of great creative decisions.
they do
Yeah.
not make great decisions,
But
and
I can tell you this right now, Paramount's not gonna be better.
no, I do not
Yeah.
believe,
They're not.
you
It
know what
actually
though?
might be
Um,
worse, I'll be honest with you, it actually might be a little
their
worse.
their animated stuff though. So that Ninja Turtles movie that came out was
Mhm,
fire. Another
mhm.
one's coming out, and then I know I'm on my little tangent real quick. I didn't even realize I was there.
It's a little bit my fault, I kinda pushed you there a little bit, so I'll take a little bit of responsibility on this one too.
So, that they coming out with another Terminator Ninja Turtles. I'm talking
TMNT.
about Terminators. God damn
Yeah.
it. And then the Sonic movies have been fire, which are Paramount, as well. So, but Paramount app sucks. I'm interested to see what happens with, all these, Warner Brother properties because it's a lot. They have a
Yeah.
very deep bag that they just never reach in. Um, and again, let's just say that's crazy because they just bought HBO just bought Warner Brothers or however that worked. Somebody just got bought out like 2, 3 years ago. But
Warner Brothers
to
owns
get
HBO. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so and to get us back on track, they're going to change the HBO Max login again. So this is like the fucking third, fourth name change that
Nah,
they
facts, they
announced
didn't
this, but
cycle through
let's be
names.
honest, they're going to change the
Yeah.
name again.
Yeah, facts.
Um, so I'll let you get into I know you said you like the Conan's initial intro, which
Uh,
I wasn't a
yeah,
fan of. I didn't see
like the
weapons,
opening
but
intro?
yeah, it started making
Yeah,
sense to me that it was from weapons
from Weapons,
when
yeah.
he started getting chased by a bunch of fucking kids.
Yeah, yeah, no, that the intro, like, when he was dressing up as the witch from Weapons, that was, like, to me, the best part of any comedic bit he did the entire night. Once he got into the opening monologue, I was like, "Ah, this is falling a little flat." It wasn't like I never felt like he was bombing, but I just felt like it was very, like the jokes were very corny. It was like dad
Yeah,
jokes, but they weren't really hitting or resonating with the audience or really me at home watching it,
yeah.
honestly. But
I'll
the
say he
one
pretty
grace
good
Imma
though.
give him, Imma give him a little bit of grace because you know how they'll write jokes for, like, the presenters when they go up to present
Mhm.
the awards? Those were infinitely worse than anything Conan did. So, if that was the material the Oscars was giving y'all to work with, I'm not gonna get too mad at Conan because if those are the parameters he had to work within, there wasn't really much for you to be successful with. But there were a couple jokes he said that was like, all right, that one kind of got me. Like the we arrest our pedophiles.
Yeah,
Like that one, yeah, like little stuff like that when he was like teetering over the edge. I'm like,
it's
all
more
right, now he's
political
kind of
shit.
hitting.
I
Yeah,
was
like now it's
I
kind
was
of hitting.
hoping he made at least the one joke for Sinners when he said something like, I think he said, like, he was trying to sit with them and they didn't wanna sit with him or some shit. I was hoping he would've said something like, "They kept on asking me if I was a Klan." Like, it would've
That
just
would have
fit
hit.
so much
That would
better
have
because
hit. That
this
would have hit.
fucking pale
Yeah,
ass ginger white man,
yeah.
you a fucking vampire, my nigga.
You
You don't
might be
wanna
the
be in the sun
you
either.
might be a
And
vampire.
and he's made jokes about being pale and the sun harming him before previously in past shows and specials
They
and
made a
whatnot.
joke about it during the ceremony
Did they?
about I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. He said like, yeah, Conan had to take a break. He stepped outside and it was inadvertently exposed to sunlight
Y
and got eviscerated or something like
Yeah,
that.
he sure
So
did. So
yeah,
so, like, it was just like you said, the jokes really they didn't land. Like, they
yeah,
and I know you said, like, it was terrible, like, I didn't think it was terrible, I just think, like, they just didn't land it. Like,
yeah.
it was there, and then it just wasn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Getting into the films though, because Conan was not he was obviously the host, he's a part of the show, but he's not what we're here for. First and foremost, just to start off rip, we do have to shout out Michael B. Jordan for winning Best Actor in his first time being nominated, because that
Mhm.
is not very common. And then looking at who he beat out also, Timothy Chalamet was never getting it because the entire film community is pissed at him right now.
Wait, speak on that, please, 'cause I know he said something about ballet and
Yeah.
orchestra or something like that,
Yeah,
and
it's I don't
it
really get what everybody's pissed about, but long story short, he had an interview, I think it was with Matthew McConaughey, and he basically I haven't seen the full interview, but in the clip, he just talks about how people don't care about ballet and opera.
he's not wrong, though.
But, like,
Like,
that's
so
what I'm saying, but I can kinda understand knowing context of the industry you work in, right? So, like, me saying people don't care about ballerina and opera is facts, and while I come on here and talk about movies all the time, and I do work with the film festival, I'm not, like, in Hollywood, I'm not in the industry, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to, like, come face to face with ballerinas and opera people all the time. Timothy Chalamet is in the industry where he has to come face to face with ballerinas and opera singers all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I just
while
saw
he's
this.
not incorrect, I can understand like, hey, he just might not want to ruffle feathers, but he's not. What he said is
I
not
still
wrong.
can't now if he said something like, people not into ballet and orchestra no more, and neither am I, then I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Okay, cool."
yeah,
That's a reason to get on his ass because, like you said, we share the industry. But making an observation, that's like,
he's not wrong. Yeah, he wasn't
it's
wrong at
not
all in
wrong,
what he
and
said.
I don't think they should have attacked him like that because they made some jokes about it. I'm just lost as
Yeah,
fuck. And I not say they attacked him because they didn't really attack him, but it's like
they
making a
was trolling him
scene.
the whole night. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, they was trolling
Like
him the whole
like,
night.
after the Sinners piece, they was like, "Oh, they did this to take a shot at him." Like, no, they
Yeah.
didn't. They like, that shit was some shit they were gonna do anyway.
Anyway, yeah,
It just fit with the timing. And I
yeah.
guess the lady that was, I wish I could remember her name, the, ballet dancer that was on stage, like, she's retired, and she came out of retirement to do that.
To do that, okay. Well, she
Yeah,
was probably taking a shot at
yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, but the
So
rest of them, like, that's just what that bit was
like,
supposed to be.
let's be honest, how many motherfuckers in that audience have gone to see a ballet play or orchestra play,
You're
if
talking about people in Hollywood right now, Vito.
if ever
Yeah.
recently?
I
Like, let's not
the people in that room may have, though. We're talking about
let's
film
say
industry people
some.
in Hollywood.
I'll
There's some
say that
folks in that room.
maybe directors, nigga, but
Yeah.
the writers, the majority of the actors, he's
Some of them have
is
it's some
what I'm saying is
ballerina
like
show attendees that were in that audience is all Imma say.
it's not a normal thing for them.
Yeah.
Like, niggas go see movies every day. They get little
I get what you're
screening
saying.
reels. They're not going to see a ballet like, "Oh, shit, so and so is," they probably going to see, like,
Yeah.
what's the, that big the big company that does
Yeah.
Black Swan, they in town. Let's go see
Yeah.
that. Because again, like you said, it's Hollywood, so it's gonna be it's an event. Everything's an
Yeah.
event in Hollywood. But,
Yeah.
like, they not going to see regular shit, bro. They probably some of them not probably not going to see plays. That's why it's a big ass division between stage acting and screen acting. So,
Yeah.
like,
Well, there's
to
people
try to
that have started to dabble back and forth between
it
both
is,
now too,
it's
though.
more now, it was
Yeah.
definitely, but, like, it's still a large division. So,
Yeah.
like, to act like him saying and niggas don't see plays that much, and when I say niggas, I mean people in general.
Yeah,
So
no, just
to act like
regular common folk.
ballet and orchestra is the like to make that the thing, like
Yeah.
it was just overdid. And those jokes to me, I was like, okay, this nigga obviously he ain't say nothing too bad because he would have lost that fucking nominee spot more than like
Well, the nominee spot was already given to him, so I don't see them doing that. That would've been kinda bogus to, like, take his nominee away from that,
shit.
especially
You
when
seen him
a
take his
man won after smacking a man open hand in front of
ah!
on national television, and then
Hey,
y'all
first of all,
give the nigga the
no, no,
Oscar
no.
after that.
But that
So,
nigga,
like,
he
that would've been kinda crazy.
that man that smacked that man is Will Smith. So
Okay, and while Timothy Chalamet isn't Will Smith, Timothy Chalamet is like a certified movie star of this generation. Like, he's up
yeah,
there.
but
He's
like
up
he ain't
there.
certified yet. Like Will Smith fucking 30, 40
He
years,
ain't Will
dog.
Smith certified,
Nah,
but as far as this generation is concerned, he's certified.
I
Like,
think but
if we were to rank the top movie stars of today, Timothy Chalamet's on that
you
list.
gotta
He's high
remember
on the
like
list.
who it's still the old niggas running the business though. They get that
True.
motherfucker out of there and throw another nigga
Yeah.
up in a minute.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it was Leo, Leo could have did whatever. I mean, you seen
Yeah.
his 19-year-old girlfriend and all. I don't know how old his girlfriend is, but the
I was
nigga
trying not I was trying to ignore that. Every time they cut to him, I was just looking at Tiana Taylor like, "That's the only woman he's sitting next to. There's no one else over there with
he
him."
keep a young
I was
thing by his
I
side.
was really trying to not pay attention to that because I'm like, Leo, why you got this girl front row with you? Like, I just every time they cut to Leo, I just looked at Tiana Taylor and I just act like that's the only woman sitting next to him, and that's
Shout
how
out to
I
Tiana Taylor,
shout out to
man.
Tiana
Our
Taylor
black
though.
queen.
She looked amazing. Yeah, black. There's a few Black Queen shout outs
Man.
we can do. Jamie Lawson when they did the
I,
Sinners
was she on
performance,
stage? Oh, she
she
was on stage,
was.
right?
You
Okay,
ain't
I
think she
thought
was
so.
right next to Miles Cannon when he started hitting the
She
guitar?
she just looks so different in everything I see her
Man,
in. So
shout
like
out to
seeing
Jamie
her on
Lawson.
stage, I'm like, damn, she look good. She look just like Jamie Lawson.
That is Jamie Lawson. That is shout out to Jamie Lawson. That's my Black Queen shout out for the whole
We'd be
Oscars.
this would be like 20 more minutes longer if we were just shouting out black
Oh
queens.
yeah, we'd be here. That would take up the rest of the episode. So I'm gonna get us off that train because I
Oh,
will
and
keep
Holly
talking about.
Berry. I didn't see Holly Berry,
Yeah,
but Michael B. Jordan shouted out Holly Berry
Halle Berry.
because
So
she
we need
won
to
an
shout out
Oscar.
Halle Berry. Yes, yes. Which I do want to get into that as well. Just with Michael B. Jordan, I do love the fact that he shouted out the other
Mhm.
like people who've won like actors and actresses who won Best Actor and Actress at the Academy Awards for. I love that he shouted them out. It is kind of cool that like he can say he beat out Leo for Best Actor. Like that is kind of
Yeah.
dope on your first try too. I will say though, and I don't want to get too deep into the discourse because I want to get into the other categories as well. I do find it interesting, like the roles that Black people keep winning Best Actor for. Like, you know what I'm
Oof.
saying? It kind of feels like we always got to play somebody shady. Like, because even granted, I love Sinners. Michael B. Jordan is playing twin gangsters in this movie.
Well, Will Smith wasn't. He
Will
played
Smith is probably
Serena's father,
oh, yeah, I was about to say
Venus' father.
Will Smith is probably an exception to the rule. Denzel is really like one of the first ones that comes to mind because like
Mhm.
you won
100%.
for playing a corrupt cop, but not for playing Malcolm X. Like, so I don't know, just something to
Did you
keep in
see
mind.
the
Halle
City
Berry's
Port?
character in Monster Ball was not a morally great
No.
person. You know what I'm saying? So
Did you see the movie that Sidney Poitier won an Oscar for?
I have not to know, so I
Uh,
can't speak on that one. I can't speak on that one. But it was just
niggas get nominated a lot. Niggas just don't win.
nominated. I'm talking about wins. I'm
You know,
strictly
yeah, yeah.
talking wins.
Niggas just
Yeah,
don't
because
win.
nominations
And
obviously is all over the place. The spectrum of the type of characters.
so when you see and then I'll let you finish the I know we took a turn again.
No, no, you good.
So I seen somebody online talking about some Michael B. Jordan only won because it was a black actor or some shit like that. It's like when you look at the history of the Academy
It's
and you
like
look at the
7.
history of people that won and were
Yeah,
nominated, most of the time black actors weren't even nominated when they should
nominated,
have
let
been when
alone
they should have
win.
won. And
Here,
then
to
when
put it in
they were
perspective,
nominated, they still didn't win. So to say
yes,
like this what shut the all right, never mind,
yeah.
you go ahead. I
No,
just
and
made
I'm
myself
glad you
mad.
made that point. I'm glad you made that point because, like, just to put it in context so people understand, we just said this is the 98th Academy Awards, right? In the history, 98 years of the Academy Awards, you wanna know how many times a Black person has won Best Actor? This is the 6th, including Michael B. Jordan. 6.
Somebody had a picture of Robert Downey Jr. and said Michael B. Jordan's the
Shut the
7.
fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. You know someone did
What
what?
was his name? Lazarus something in Tropic Thunder?
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as a dude. It was Lazarus something. That is That is ignorant. I just lost my train of thought.
My fault,
Oh,
dog.
no, you good. That was worth it. That was worth it. Cause what the that's ignorant. But going into like just the other acting categories, Sean Penn, this one, all right, this one I kind of want to sit with because I'm a little disappointed, but
Okay.
happy at the same time. Best supporting actor went to Sean Penn, who wasn't even at the Oscars, by the way, because he was in Ukraine meeting with President Zelensky,
Crazy.
which is
I just seen that shit
crazy.
today that he was in the
Yes.
Ukraine. I'm like,
Like, he was
"What?"
in Ukraine meeting with President Zelensky, that's why he wasn't at the Oscars, but he
Like,
won, and
what are you meeting with the nigga for? Like, what's going on?
if you know Sean Penn, because 'cause I'm forgetting who presented that award, but he was like, "Sean Penn, I'm accepting this on Sean Penn's behalf because he either couldn't be here or didn't want to."
Oh,
And
Kieran Culkin.
yes, and if you've seen, like, clips of Sean Penn talking about the Oscars, he hasn't always had the nicest things to say
Yeah,
about them. You know what I'm saying? So it kinda tracks. But the reason I'm a little disappointed, and before I say that, Sean Penn does deserve to win. I just wanna say that. Sean Penn definitely deserved to win Best Supporting
for
Actor.
sure.
But given how the Oscars has sometimes given out, like, legacy awards for certain actors, like, and I'll use it we already discussed the Denzel year, this is a perfect example, like, one of the main reasons Denzel didn't win for Malcolm X is because at that point in time, Al Pacino hadn't won Best Actor yet, and there were obviously films that happened prior to that where Al Pacino should have won Best Actor, so the Oscars basically said, "Alright, Al, you're nominated this year. We're gonna finally give you one because we should have given you one before and haven't yet." And then they had to kind of double back and do the same thing with Denzel for Training Day because like we should have gave you one for Malcolm X and we didn't. So now we're giving you one here for Training Day. I was kind of hoping they would give Delroy Lindo the same treatment.
Yeah,
I was really hoping they would give Delroy Lindo the same treatment. They didn't, and I'm not tripping about it because watching Sinners and watching One Battle After Another, Sean Penn's character in One
yeah,
Battle After Another is
100%.
far more important to that story than Delroy Lindo's character in Sinners. And I think his performance makes One Battle After Another more than Delroy Lindo's performance makes Sinners, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
I mean,
you can't,
e
yeah.
when you look at he played, what the fuck was his name? Colonel,
Was it wasn't I don't know why I have the word lockjaw in my head.
it was Lockjaw.
It was Lockjaw? Okay.
Yep, so Colonel Lockjaw, when he played Lockjaw, Lockjaw was, uh so different from who Sean Penn is and how Sean
Mhm.
Penn carries himself. So, like,
Yes.
when you're talking about acting, that nigga was acting. Not to
Like,
say
to a T.
Delroy Lee
Delroy Lindo wasn't, yeah.
yes.
I got you, I got you, I got you.
Words hard sometimes, dog. But,
English.
um, but it just was, just the way that the characters
Mhm.
were presented and how they were portrayed. I wouldn't expect Delroy's character. It's saying his first name and last name together is just really fucking me up. But I wouldn't expect his character to be that wildly different
Yeah.
from the plot of the story, you
Mhm.
know. But Sean Penn, first of all, every character in one battle after another was like a caricature of a character.
Yeah, that yes.
So
Yes.
like, him playing that and it's not like, I don't think they build it as a comedy, but it's a comedy, dog.
Mhm. Yeah, and it has comedic moments, but it's also very dramatized, and like you said, every character is like a caricature in One Battle After Another. That's like a perfect way to describe it, which if you're familiar with Paul Thomas Anderson movies, that's pretty on point for his directing style. Um I won't touch on all, like, the production related, awards because Frankenstein won all of them anyway, but shout out to Frankenstein for that, for, like,
Did you see
basically sweeping.
Frankenstein?
I haven't seen Frankenstein yet, I'm going to. I'm
Did
gonna
you see
see
The
it this week.
Bride?
No, I have not seen The
Okay.
Bride. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
not seen The Bride.
I guess you're not gonna go see The Bride?
I've seen the reviews for The Bride, and I value my money and not wasting it, so probably not gonna catch The Bride. Frankenstein, I will be seeing, though, 'cause I planned on seeing it before the Academy Awards, and I just couldn't get to it. But I do wanna especially after seeing, like, how many I think it took home, like, costume design,
Mhm.
production design, like, anything that had to do with the things you need on set, like, Frankenstein swept all those categories, so I do wanna I do need to actually, sit down and see that one. That's one of the ones I haven't seen yet that I do need to, tap into. That and Begonia, I do need to tap into both of those. And then Best Supporting Actress, I did wanna touch on just because Amy Ma I personally I think they got that right. I know some people are
Was
gonna
that
look at
the witch or whatever?
yeah, that's where the one Amy Madigan won for Weapons. I know some people are
No, I'm
probably
saying,
gonna
did she
look
play
at
the witch in
she
the
yeah, she
weapons?
played the
Okay.
witch in Weapons, yeah, that was her role. I think some people are gonna look at Tiana Taylor and Wunmi and say they should have won for Sinners and One Battle After Another,
I forgot
specifically
to shout
Tiana
out
Taylor.
Woomy.
Shout out Wunmi too, since we're on our Black Queen shout out. Shout out to Wunmi too, for sure, shout out to Wunmi. But and I know Tiana Taylor, I believe, won this category at the Golden Globes, if I'm not mistaken. So I can
Mhm.
understand why going into this, Amy Madigan probably wasn't like the betting favorite to win. But the reason why I'm happy with it is two reasons. One, I love that horror films got a lot of recognition this year, because that's a genre that the Oscars typically ignores, with films like Hereditary, Midsummer, The Witch, like movies that I think horror movies that I think were actually like worthy of getting Oscar recognition just were completely ignored. So I'm glad that in general the horror genre is getting some love this year, which is why I'm glad Amy Madigan won. A. And B, like, I feel like it's good to see villain characters getting recognized as well, especially between the supporting categories. Like we had 2 villain characters take home the gold. And I'm obviously that's happened before, but like I just feel like that's a good thing to just show some variety just in the types of characters that people can portray and get wins for. But I definitely am very satisfied with just the way a lot of the winners played out, especially within the acting categories. The only one I can't really have like a strong opinion on is Best Actress. And I'm gonna make sure I pull this woman's name up so I get it right. Jessie Buckley
Luckily.
for Hamnet. I candidly I haven't seen any of the films in the Best Leading Actress category. I do wanna see Begonia, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Those are 2 I actually do wanna check out at some point. But I wasn't this was a category that, like, when it came up, I was like, "I have no dog in this fight because I haven't seen any of these." But did wanna just give Jessie Buckley a quick shout out just because she was the winner of that category. I didn't wanna completely ignore it, but I can't comment on it. I haven't seen these movies. But yeah, shout out to Amy Madigan, shout out to Jessie Buckley. I don't know if you had anything else on those 2 categories you wanted to
Categories,
or just those 2 categories, or even if there's another category you wanted to touch
I
on,
do
but I
wanna
did wanna
talk.
show Amy Madigan some love.
Yeah, yeah, no, I gotta watch K-Pop Demon Hunters, man.
I need to watch K-Pop
Like,
Demon Hunters too,
niggas,
yes.
I started it and turned it off, like, I it just wasn't really for me, but I'm gonna turn it back on and give it another try because, they was going crazy.
Yeah, no,
I
that
think that they won 3 or 4 Oscars.
they won for Best Animated Feature. What else did they win for? I know for sure off the top of my head they won for Best
Soundtrack
Animated Feature. Was this they
or
did win for soundtrack?
yep, and
'Cause I
again, I
think
didn't watch it, so I can't say, but again,
yeah,
if you fucking kids love that shit, first of all.
yeah,
And adults love it too, especially with the rise of, like, K-pop in
mhm,
America right now. Like,
mhm.
I don't see how they wouldn't. I mean, honestly, the only other thing and they just had a better soundtrack than almost everything this year. And again, I haven't seen it, but when you look at the movies that we have seen this year, they weren't really music focused like that. Even
Outside
Sinners, which Imma say Sinners, even Sinners with the whole, with the story surrounding music didn't really have a banger of a fucking soundtrack.
yeah, those are all original a lot of those were original songs for the film, so I get what you're saying.
And like I said, like, it wasn't songs that did you listen to, like, okay,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
played them
It
shits.
hits yeah, no, the music in Sinners hits in the context of the movie, but you're right, I'm
Yeah.
not riding around listening to that, I get what you're saying. Um,
Somebody
but
save me.
speaking of Sinners, though, another shout out, Ryan Coogler didn't win for Best Director, and we'll get to that eventually, but he did win for Best Original Screenplay, which is important.
Mm,
I believe Jordan Peele won for that as well,
yep.
a previous year as well, so, it was good that Ryan Coogler walked away with something like, his own Oscar, not just for, like, the film itself, but I did wanna get to Best Director, though, because I was sitting here thinking and I'm pretty confident that Best Director is an award that no black person has ever won in the history of the Academy Awards
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because again, like you said, only 6 black men have won. Uh,
for Best Actor, yeah.
One I think Halle Berry might be the only,
Woman,
uh,
I think she is.
actor to win. And
Wow,
when I say
okay.
actor, I mean, like, not supporting, like, main actor.
Yeah. So here are the only no black director has ever won Best Director. Here are the only 7, mind you, we just said the Oscars has existed for 98 years. Here are the only 7 Black directors who have ever been nominated in history of the Oscars. You got John Singleton for Boys in the Hood.
And again, before you continue,
Yeah.
look at the movie, okay? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
thing, like, what they want us to even be looked at for.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, if I'm when I start naming the rest of these, you're gonna be like, "Yep, Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave, Lee Daniels for Precious, Barry Jenkins for Moonlight."
I didn't see Moonlight.
Mind you, Moonlight won Best Picture. I'm just gonna point that out. This year, one battle after another won Best Picture. Paul Thomas Anderson won Best Director. Makes sense, right? Because how is your movie the best movie of the year, but the person who directed it isn't the best director? That don't make sense, right?
Everything
Moonlight
was good but
won.
the director.
Moonlight won Best Picture. Barry Jenkins did not win Best Director. Just want to point that out. Jordan Peele for Get Out, Spike Lee for Black Klansman, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Those are your
Damn,
only
he won for Black
black.
Klansman?
Yeah, he got
Imma have
nominated
to
for
see what
Black
else came
Klansman.
out that year.
Oh, I forgot what year Black Klansman came out. I'm have to go back and think. But yes, think about that though. Out of all of Spike Lee's movies, the only one he's ever been nominated for is as a director is Black Klansman. Just let that sink in for a
It's
minute.
one where Adam Driver calls him a black man, a spook nigga jigaboo coon.
No, what was it? You said, damn, what was the line? It was like
When he's
you
driving down
black
the road.
beer chucking piece of shit, and whatever the fuck he said. That shit, I
Yeah.
was like, damn, Adam, you kind of
Y
felt that a little too
you know
much.
what though? We how about we play that? Adam Driver and
You want to play that clip is crazy right now, but I'm not
Adam
opposed to it.
Driver and
This
what
nigga's
was
crazy.
Black Klansman?
The Black
Hopefully
Klansman.
hopefully it plays because last time I know we said the audio didn't mesh well, but here it go.
Man,
I didn't connect.
chucking piece of shit. Yep, there we go. Yep. Tell
So
us how you really feel, Adam.
so like that's kind of crazy. Like you said, it's crazy that that's what he was nominated for. When you there's been some phenomenal movies by black directors, and even like directors that we don't they don't get talked about a lot. And we've done one. Gary Gray. I like calling nigga F Gary again.
That Gary Gray isn't even listed here.
You know, he's had some phenomenal movies, movies that aren't like black films as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like, you know, that's just it's the industry though, but like I said, it's a political the Oscars are very political. The
Yeah.
movie if the movie is a low budget movie that wins, it was just that fucking fire.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's real. I'm trying to think. We've touched on. Well, I'll touch on Paul Thomas Anderson winning Best Director a little bit. This one, I like I said, I really wanted Ryan Coogler to take this home. Only reason why I'm okay with Paul Thomas Anderson winning it is, like I said, if a movie's gonna be Best Picture, doesn't really make sense for the director to not also win Best Director. Because how are you gonna tell me this movie's the best movie of the year, but the person who directed it isn't the best director? That makes no sense.
It's like
Uh,
saying you got the best I made the best cake, but I'm not the best chef.
like,
You know,
bro,
during this competition.
yeah, like this was the best dish out of all the food in this cooking
Yeah.
competition, but the person who made it ain't the best chef. That's essentially what you're saying. Like, that kind of doesn't make sense. So if you are going to give one battle after another Best Picture, which I don't disagree with at all, wouldn't have minded it going to Sinners either. I feel like it was a 2-horse race between those two. But I have no problem with one battle after another winning Best Picture. Very deserving of that. At that point, you got to give it to Paul Thomas Anderson as far as Best Director. I feel like that's the best way to go about it. And Paul Thomas Anderson's been in the industry longer than Ryan Coogler has, and has a lot more time invested. And we already just discussed how the Oscars likes to do things in that situation where somebody could have won or been, had opportunities to win in the past and it hasn't happened for them. They usually give them that legacy award. So I feel like that's what this was with Paul Thomas Anderson. And then obviously getting into Best Picture with one battle after another, actually taking it home over Sinners, which I wasn't too surprised by. I remember when I first saw One Battle After Another when we did our review. I
Yeah.
think I said, like, this is my favorite movie of the year
Mhm.
now. So walking out of the theater, I knew, like, and that's usually when like, this is truly Best Picture. When after I got done watching one battle after another, I think I said it to myself. I was like, this movie's gonna win Best Picture. Like, I kind of just knew it in the moment. And I kind of just said it like just because I was so excited because the film was just that fire. But like the more I reflected on it, the more I kind of was more serious about that statement. Like, no, this movie's gonna win Best Picture. And very well deserved that it actually got that honor. But it was a little rough just knowing the history of the Oscars and how few opportunities Black directors have had to win that award. It's a little disappointing that Ryan Coogler wasn't able to take it home, and it would have been nice to see Sinners win. But once again, I'm not mad at one battle after another winning that at all. Very, very well deserved. All in all, I think because this is the first Oscar ceremony I've watched in some years. And I'm not gonna count the Will Smith, Chris Rock show because I only cut that on after I
When you
realized
got
what
the
had
smack.
happened. Yeah, like I was because like I haven't been watching the ceremony, but I've been checking to see who the winners are. All right, this person won for this category, this person
Twitter
won for this
went up
category.
that night.
I'm scrolling, I'm like, wait, what happened? So then I cut the show on after that, but I'm not counting that. This is the first Oscar ceremony I actually like sat and watched from start to finish in a while. This kind of made me realize why I stopped watching it. Like, it's
It's just
not necessarily anything against the Academy itself. Well, it kind of is. Let me not lie. It is against the Academy itself because I'm not the biggest fan at how they nominate movies sometimes. But my main issue is like this is a what 3.5 hour
three
award
and a half
ceremony.
hours. 3 and a
Y'all
fucking half
have to do
hours.
something to make this more entertaining. Like y'all
'Cause it's
have
not.
to,
They had
because it's
what, maybe
not.
2 or 3 musical performances. Again, like you said, you got Conan telling jokes up there that wasn't landing, and I
Yeah,
get it. You know, you wanna have a PG ceremony or, awards or jokes, so it
yeah,
appeals to everybody, but
yeah.
let's do a little more, man.
We can, but here's the thing. Here's why I'm not giving them that pass because like the Grammys aren't boring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Golden Globes aren't boring. So it's like I can't really give y'all that pass because other award shows have figured out how to make this formula work. So the Oscars are really the only ones where it's like every year we complain about how this show drags, how it's not very entertaining, and each time y'all kind of don't address the problem and then wonder why your viewership's going down. But I think that some of the highest rated moments in the Oscars are moments of controversy, to be honest with you. Like the time when Moonlight really won, but they accidentally said La La Land, when Chris Rock got the shit smacked out of him. Like the moments like that are, I feel like, what people remember from Oscar ceremonies as
I wonder
time
if they
goes
were both
on.
invited back this year.
Who I have a strong feeling one of them definitely wasn't. The other,
Yeah, I
I'm
think Will
not sure.
got a ban for a minute.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive Will Smith is like banned from attending the ceremony for like the next couple years. I don't know how long the ban is on, but I don't think we're seeing him in person at the
I
Oscar
will
ceremony for
say
a while.
it was 24 categories though. So like you said, 24 categories for 3 and a half
Mhm.
hours. The memorial was like 10 minutes long.
It was very long,
And
which I
it was
understand, but
yeah,
sheesh.
I'm fine with it, but it was weird because they would I think like 3 people
Yeah.
had people actually speak on
Speak,
them.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then, like, it was so many people, everybody else just got a picture, a picture, a picture, a picture, a picture, a
yeah,
video, a picture, a picture, a picture, a picture, a picture.
mhm,
So, that was wild. I got a few questions for you though before we wrap up.
okay,
The Golden Globes. I don't think I've ever watched. I probably have. Who knows? When I was little.
mhm.
What's the difference between the Golden Globes and the Academy Award? Or the,
Golden Globes is a little bit more alive, it takes itself a little less seriously, as far as, like, the way the show goes,
mhm.
right? And then their categories are, like, very different, like, they
They have
kinda
comedic
it's
categories,
like
right?
it's like comedic and musical, but they'll, like, put films that don't really fit in certain
Yeah,
categories, like, I remember, like, The Martian, I think, was, like, either nominated or won in, like, Best Comedy. Ain't shit funny about that movie. It's
yeah.
a man stranded on Mars fighting for survival. Like,
So I
you know what I'm saying? But they got it so that's just it takes itself a little less seriously, and it's just a more upbeat, fun
yeah,
show. It still obviously, like, has credibility because the
right.
Golden Globes are what they are, but they're just not held to the same level as the Oscars,
The
but
Oscars.
the show is I would 10 times I will watch the Golden Globe ceremony 10 times before I watch another Oscar ceremony, like, willingly.
Okay.
You know what I'm
And I say
saying?
that because I remember, like, watching something, they're like, "Best actor in a comedy performance." So
Mhm.
I'm waiting on that category as I'm watching the Oscars,
Yeah,
and
no,
it
very
never
different.
came up.
Yeah, very
And,
different.
you know, it's they only do best actor in a picture, best supporting,
Mhm.
best actress, best supporting, best director. So it doesn't like I said, it doesn't really go into those categories. So you don't really see the I don't know, but, shout out to 369, man.
Shout out to
They
him.
won an Oscar, dog.
Shout out 3 O'clock.
Uh,
Yeah, they have won an Oscar.
last thing Imma say, F1 won, I think, 2 or 3 Oscars as well.
I know it won
Uh,
for best sound
Best
for
sound,
sure. It won
and
for best
then,
sound for sure.
I forget the other one, but they're gonna make an F2. I don't know, they're not
Uh,
calling it F2, but
they're making a
they're
sequel. Yeah,
making
no,
an F
I know they're making a sequel. I'm not too happy about it, but hey, to each their own. I
if they're
can't get
gonna
too
make a
mad.
sequel, I just hope it's not Damson and Brad again. I want them to
It
make it
probably
like an
will be.
anthology. It probably will be, but I want them to make it like an anthology thing because we already got the story of Brad and Damson.
Yeah, but this
Give us
movie just
another
got
story.
nominated for Best Picture, so guess who's about to be in the sequel? I'm just saying, gang, like, this movie was nominated for Best Picture, guess who's gonna be in the
and and
sequel?
I-
The
and
same
I
niggas
fuck
who's in the first one.
I fuck with both those actors. It's just like you
Yeah,
said, man. Let's turn some shit up because the sequel. I guarantee you, the sequel's not going to be as good as the first one because I think we both said it. Like I never thought a movie about racing would be interesting
that shit had me hooked, bro.
outside of
Now this
Talladega
is
Nights.
well, yeah, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. A movie that's actually about racing, like, that
but
Talladega Nights don't count. It does,
so
but it doesn't.
yeah. So to get another one, a lot of sequels are not better than the original. It's
Generally
something new,
speaking,
man.
it's a rare occurrence. It has happened, but it's not that common. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to make sure there's no other housekeeping items I missed. They did retract a mic on a man, which was hilarious, and there was a tie. But it was for best, I think, short film, and I
Short
haven't seen
story,
any of
short
yeah, I
film.
haven't seen any of those movies, so I can't necessarily comment on the films themselves. But it is hilarious that there was a tie, and it is hilarious they retracted a mic on a man
I thought that
mid-speech.
was funny. They said the award portion of the show is gonna be longer than the short films themselves.
They was like
And
literally them giving the award for best short film was better than the movies themselves in short film
they
category.
so, like I said, they retracted the mic on a man, but before that, they turned the mic off before,
And they turned the lights off
and
on
they turned the
him.
lights off
I was like, y'all doing
they
them so
but on
bogus.
him, they retracted the mic and turned the lights off.
Yeah, no, they
They was
they
not giving niggas time to speak. I guess
they
they
were
wanted
doing some folks bogus up on that
they were
podium, bro.
very bogus, and you could hear the it was funny because he's like, "Oh, okay."
It's just like, oh, this what y'all
And
doing? I bet.
you can hear the audience every time it happened, like, gasp or like, "Yo,
Yeah.
what's happening here?"
Yeah, like why
You
y'all doing them like
and
that, bro?
and it's not like they were long-winded or anything. It's 4
One of
people
them
went up
was.
Here. Which
One of them
one?
was kinda one of them I feel like one of them was kinda talking a minute. It was like the one it was like 2 people were talking. I forgot what movie it was. Um, oh, no, I think it was the one where they
They
retracted the mic and 'cause it was 2 people. The lady, like, kinda hogged most of the microphone time, and I
Is
even
that when
think
she
you
was
saw
like,
the dude.
pulled out the paper and then it fell?
No, I'm talking
Okay.
for best short, when the second, set of people went up, there was, like, 2 people that were about to speak. It was a man and a woman, and the woman, like, took up most of the time speaking. So, like, by the time the dude came up, like, he wasn't being long-winded, but it was long-winded just because of how long it took her to talk.
Yeah, I got
You know what I'm saying? But, like, either way, they
But
still shouldn't have
well,
did bro like
when I
that.
say they weren't being long-winded, I mean, like, the entire show, they were
Oh,
retracting the
yeah,
mic. I
yeah,
think they did it
yeah. Yeah,
or
yeah.
not just retract, but I think they cut the lights,
Cut the
cut the
music
mic,
on
or
and yeah.
retracted it, or cut the music on, like, 4 or 5 times during the show.
Yeah, for those other people, you're right, they weren't being long-winded, you know what I'm saying? So, trying to think. I don't have much else other than shout out Michael B. Jordan, shout out Ryan Coogler, shout out Paul Thomas Anderson and One Battle After Another, and shout out Amy Madigan. Those are the people I'm most happy for.
Shout out Regina King.
And shout out Jamie Lawson. And shout out actually, no,
I
that's the end of my
I
shout out list. Shout out Jamie
I
Lawson. That's what I'm
I'm
ending it with.
I so I'm throwing Regina King in there again because Regina King is a phenomenal actor who I forgot was in One Battle After Another
Regina
because
Hall.
Regina Hall, shit.
Yeah.
I just got done watching the show with Regina King. Regina King's a phenomenal actor too, love her to death.
Yeah, it
Um,
applies to both. It
but
applies to both.
Regina Hall is such a phenomenal actor, and she does not get the credit that she deserves. I'm
Yeah,
glad that they're coming out with a Scary Movie 7. I'm ready to see her be funny as fuck
yeah.
again, and, we didn't know that she was gonna be in One Battle After Another.
Yeah,
So seeing
I don't
her
know if she was in the trailer or
she
not,
was in,
but
like, a brief trailer,
yeah,
but,
yeah,
so seeing her was like, "Okay, cool,"
yeah.
and she got a shout out when they went on the stage.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
glad
just about to say that. I'm glad that Paul Thomas Anderson shouted her out,
'cause I
when
didn't
he
even
was
see
mentioning
her
the
at
cast.
first.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she was there. At least I didn't see
She
her.
was up there.
Oh, she
I
was? Okay, okay.
I did not recognize her at first. She
Okay,
looked
I
like
was
she
about to say
didn't
'cause
wanna be there.
I was looking, like, in the cast, I was like, "Is Wood Harris, like, do they got everybody?" And I don't remember seeing Regina Hall. I'm about to go back
Yeah.
and look.
She
That's probably because
was
Tiana was in the front jumping up and down and putting
she was
niggas in
behind
headlocks. So that's probably why I didn't peep.
she was behind Tiana, but yo,
Okay.
yeah, Tiana's funny as hell.
Tiana Taylor
She
was
was like,
acting a complete ass the whole night, and I loved every second of it.
"Hey,
She
man."
I said the show was boring. She was a big reason on why even some of it was entertaining. Her
but like you
reactions throughout the night, like, she brought the energy. Shout out Teyana Taylor.
it's also like you said, and I'm not this is gonna be the last thing I say for real this time. The Golden Globes doesn't take themselves serious. The Academy Awards takes themselves very serious. And if you didn't know that before, you know it watching it. I think most of
Yes.
these niggas, if they not in like straight black suits, they're in tuxes, which
Mhm,
is crazy.
mhm.
And even like how they're speaking about it, the Academy this, the Academy that. Like
Yeah,
they speak about it with such prestige.
yeah.
But again, like you said, that's one of those old Hollywood things, and like you
Very
said,
old school.
it's fucking political,
Yeah,
so if you come in that motherfucker well, Tiana Taylor, so if you come in that
yeah.
motherfucker and you being disrespectful, and this, nigga, okay, we gonna see how your shit gonna go next time. You might have the best movie out. You not being best actor, we know that much.
I mean, well, once again, we watched a man open hand smack another grown ass man and
He
then
didn't
win Best Actor
he
an
did
hour
not
later.
disrespect the Academy though, and
Smacking a
and
man on national television ain't all right.
I mean like
Thanks so
directly.
much for watching The Real Junkies, y'all. This nigga done lost his damn mind. That's not disrespectful. I just
And he
open
only
hand
got
smacked a
I
nigga on
think
national
he
television.
only got like a 3-year ban. Bro, they
But
should
the
have stripped that nigga of his
You can't. That's Will Smith. You
That's
can't.
Will
You
Smith.
can't. Yeah, you can't. That's Will Smith. Like, if Timothy Chalamet had did that, they for sure would have.
Hey,
But
they
that's
would have
Will.
walked that nigga outside.
Yeah, they would
You gotta
have.
go.
Yeah, they would have tossed him out there like a bouncer. You remember that scene in Malibu's Most Wanted when they threw bro in the dumpster? That's how they did.
When
That's
he
how they would
said
have did.
nigga.
Yeah, that's how they would have did my man Timothy Chalamet. He did some shit like
I'm
that.
still trying to figure I know that said that's the last thing I'll say. He let this nigga walk all the way up to him, and he ain't think nothing crazy.
There was no reaction time. Like you didn't see, like, oh shit, he's walking up to me. Oh
He
shit, he's
didn't
getting closer. Oh shit, he cocking his hand back. Like
man,
there
like,
was
it
no.
was no
Yeah,
survival instinct at all.
there was just
Come
so
on,
much
Rock.
time to react, and he just
Come on,
didn't.
Rock.
But if you all watch the Academy Awards, let us know your thoughts. I know there's a lot of people very disappointed that Sinners didn't do a clean sweep, but I already knew it wasn't going to because I just
Yeah.
knew I know how the Oscars works. I knew one battle after another was going to clean up, so I had already mentally prepared myself for Sinners to kind of get like the short end of the stick on certain categories. But they still walked away with 4 awards, which is the second most of the night. So we can't get too mad at it. Just a little mad, or maybe very mad, however you feel about it. But always continue to like, comment, subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. And until next time, this is The Real Junkies. Peace.